Hey guys, it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizleee here on YouTube, and today I want to talk about this post that is going viral. So many different things are sharing it, and it's very interesting to me. It seems to be very interesting to a lot of you guys. I've gotten so many Snapchats about this, and I've also seen it shared throughout my friends on Facebook, even my friends who are not like super into like eco-friendly stuff. They've been sharing a post about this biodegradable edible plastic bag, and I just want to do a little bit of talking about it because I did some research on it. A lot of you guys are asking me what I think about it, if I think they're a good choice, a good alternative to plastic bags, and so I figured I would go ahead and do a little bit of research and tell you guys what I found. So if you want to know about that, then stay tuned. So I don't have everything memorized. I'm just going to be reading it off of my laptop like I've done before with you guys. So this plastic bag is called an eco bag, and it's made by a company called Avani, A-V-A-N-I, and they call it the eco bag like I said. The founder of this brand is named Kevin Kumala, and from what I can tell, it is very like, I don't know if it started in Bali. It sounds like their biggest influence is happening over in Indonesia, because the group of people, I guess activists essentially, were able to convince the Bali government to go plastic free, or not plastic free, excuse me, to go bag free, plastic bag free, ban plastic bags, the traditional plastic bag, I think by 2018. And so I think that that's why they're going kind of viral. That's why everyone's talking about it. But it's also very different than a lot of things, because I personally have seen plastic bags that are compostable and biodegradable and stuff like that, but I've never seen them marketed as something that would be good for sea creatures to eat, which seems to be the like key marketing term happening here with this particular bag, because it's made out of something called cassava, which is an edible plant. You may more commonly know it as yucca. That's what I know it as. I believe yucca is sold in quite a few grocery stores, and according to this website, cassava, aka yucca, is actually the world's third largest source of carbohydrates in the tropics, after of course rice and maize, which, yeah, that makes sense. It's a major food staple in the developing world. So that was my initial thought whenever I heard about what it was made out of, is I wonder if that will impact any indigenous people. A lot of times these things come out and they're like, they become like a big trend and they're like super hyped up. For instance, with quinoa, whenever quinoa became like a really big deal, a lot of the people who depended on quinoa to eat in the developing countries were forced out of their native lands so that these companies could come in and grow it. And then the other people weren't able to depend on it anymore to live off of it, and it was very expensive then in their local economy, so they had to switch up food sources, and it caused a lot of issues. And so that's kind of my concern here with the cassava bags. But the really interesting thing is they're also looking into other forms of bioplastics, including on their website they talk about I think the shells of shrimp and clams, which would obviously make those bags not vegan, so then that would cause probably a whole nother issue for a lot of people who are more eco-minded, because a lot of people who are eco-minded know about the effects that animal agriculture and things like marine biodiversity, the issues with that, and fishing for things like shrimp and stuff. So that would cause a problem with probably most people who support environmental activism. On their website, the claims that they make about these bags are they are 100% made from renewable bio-based renewable resources. If you guys didn't know, regular plastic bags are made from a petroleum byproduct, and so what that means is that they are essentially oil. Essentially plastic is made from oil. It is made from oil, and so obviously it's very environmentally harmful to make that product, as well as it lasts forever in the environment. So plastic bags are absolutely horrible all around, and they're saying here that it's not made from petroleum, it is made from renewable bio-based resources, hence the yucca, right? And then they are compostable and biodegradable. They are safe to consume for land and marine animals, and I think that's the key. It seems that whenever something is impacting wild animals, all of a sudden people are rallied around it, right? So for instance, with like SeaWorld and the orcas, that's like the hugest freaking deal ever. Everyone rallied around that. People also rally around getting rid of plastic bags because the imagery is there. Same thing goes with the orcas. Like, you could see them in pain, you could see what they're going through. Same thing with plastic bags. You can see the impacts it's having on like sea turtles and how many they eat. So I think the key marketing point that they've done here is say that it's safe for those sea turtles to eat, which I think is super cool and a really cool, like, innovative thing. And the owner of this brand, his name is Kevin, Kevin Kumala, like I said. There's a video of him online actually mixing up one of these bags into water and then drinking it to prove that it is consumable. So that's another one of their marketing things they listed on their website. And then it says can be recycled along with paper. So since this is like a plant-based bag, I guess it can be recycled with paper. Customizable shape and design, and it can be dissolved in a matter of less than 150 days when discarded in bodies of water. So my initial reaction when you guys are sending me this over Snapchat was, why would we choose a different type of plastic, which obviously does require natural materials to be made? The bags are not, you know, poofed out of thin air. We still have to go through the process of growing those crops, the process it takes to break those crops down and put them into this plastic form. And then obviously there is it goes into the environment thing, although it's safe for the environment, so that's good. But there's still a lesser impact would be to bring your reusable bags so that you don't have to have them at all. And so that was my initial reaction. But the founder of this company, Kevin, he stated it pretty well. So he says, the notion of reduce, reuse, recycle has always been preached, but it is crucial to complement this with the notion of replace. And I never heard it put like that before, but I think that's a really good point. You know, a lot of people are not mindful enough to remember to bring their own bags, and a lot of people don't even know about it, right? And he makes the very key distinction between waiting for education to catch up with all these people and being able to realize that this is a problem, and the older generations to get on board, or even people my age to get on board. And he says instead of just waiting for that to get out there to everyone, what we can do is talk these companies into making these changes themselves. And I think that that's a really cool point. I don't know if this is just like this guy is really good at marketing, because originally when I heard about this idea I thought it wasn't the best, but now I'm kind of thinking that yeah, it's still a good option. Obviously it's better to bring your own reusables and not have to get any of them at all, and for people like you guys who are watching this and me, we can still do that. But for the people who are not as conscious, they can be given this option, and I think that's pretty cool. So plastic bags are technically banned in my city. However, they still have these like reusable plastic bags, which really just means they're thicker plastic bags and people have to pay for them, but people don't reuse them. Like, that's the whole thing. I know that that's like their good intention, but people are not reusing them. People are just paying for them every time they go to the grocery store. But this will be a better solution than that. So that's kind of where my mind is on this. And I'm really curious to know what you guys think about it. So go ahead and start leaving your comments below with your thoughts. So whenever he says that we need to get companies on board for this replace notion, my mind goes to, well, how much do they cost? Because that's always the issue with things like this. The more environmentally friendly option costs a little bit more. And of course it does. Kevin states that these bags actually cost double what a conventional plastic bag does. Which is of course because plastic bags, as we said, are made out of petroleum, and the petroleum and oil industry has been very heavily subsidized over the past few decades. And so not only are the people who are extracting these resources, oil and petroleum and stuff like that from our earth, not only are they subsidized, but they are multi-billionaires, you know. This is like the wealthiest industry we're talking about going up against. And so obviously the products that he is introducing are going to be more expensive, and that's going to be a realistic hurdle he's going to have to jump over. I think it's really important to get this information out there, because the more people that can back it, the more funding they can get, the cheaper they're going to be able to process their stuff at, the more efficient they can get at the process, and then more competitive those bags can be against a typical petroleum-based plastic bags. So again, let me know what you guys think about this. I'm super interested to hear. The company doesn't actually only produce these plastic bags. They produce everything from like containers to straws to ponchos, like rain ponchos. So that's pretty cool, and I'll leave a lot of information down below. You guys should go follow them, check them out, and have a conversation in the comment section. I'm really interested to talk to you guys down there. But that's going to be it for me today, you guys. So remember, until next time, create the peace.